In 2020, the police were called to the scene of something terrible that just happened at an apartment in Winter Park, Florida. What they were going to find out next would absolutely shock them. This is the deranged case of Sarah Boone. Hello friend, and welcome back to High Time Crime. My name's Joel, and on here I specialize in true crime and also bird watching. How relaxing. But today we're looking at the case of Sarah Boone and her boyfriend of the time, Jorge Torres Jr. You're going to learn how insane of a person Sarah is and how their toxic relationship manifested into something much more sinister. Our story takes place in Winter Park, Florida. If something crazy is gonna happen, it's gonna be in Florida. But Winter Park is a city in Orange County, and as of 2020 has a population of around 30,000-ish people. There's a good amount of things to do here. Tons of people come from all over to many of the festivals held in town. There's a bunch of historical tours, and you can even go kayaking. Who doesn't love kayaking? But that's not why we're in town today. Sarah Elizabeth Paulson was born in April of 1978 to John and Karen Paulson. She had two brothers growing up named Tyler and Philip. Finding out information on her has been a bit hard, but I managed to dig out a few things. She graduated from the University of Central Florida with a Bachelor of Science degree. For most of her adult life, it appears as if she was a manager to multiple different places, mostly being a catering manager. At some point in her life, she got married to a man named Ryan Preston and changed her last name to his. Now Sarah Elizabeth Preston would soon get into a divorce with Ryan and meet a man named Brian Boone. Sarah and Brian would get married, and she would change her name to Sarah Catherine Boone. I'm not sure why she changed her middle name. I honestly have no idea. They would end up having a son together named Lucas and eventually get divorced, and it appears as if this didn't go smoothly because the court ordered a judgment against Sarah, and basically this means Sarah owed Brian money legally. Sometime in late 2017, around September, Sarah would meet a man named Jorge Torres Jr. Jorge Luis Torres Jr. was born on February 13th of 1978 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to Blanca and Jorge Torres Sr. He would also go by George, as that's the American equivalent, so that's what we'll be using from here on out. Growing up, he had 9 brothers and sisters, and I can only imagine that that household was insane. He went to Thomas Alva Edison High School, and not long after he got out, he would move to Brooklyn, New York, and marry a woman named Arlene. I believe together they would have 3 children, 2 girls, one named Anna Victoria and one named Destiny, and one boy named after his father, Jorge Torres III. I'm not too sure if his oldest daughter, Anna Victoria, was also with Arlene. That's just speculation, as the information out there is very scarce. Eventually, George and Arlene would go their separate ways, and he would then find himself in Florida. While in Florida, he started to work at Ace Hardware, and according to his bio, he was the best employee Ace Hardware has ever had. Honestly, I really don't doubt it. It wasn't long after this that he ended up crossing paths with Sarah Boone. They met sometime in September of 2017, and by October 20th, they were Facebook official. I guess you can say it was, really real. Only 5 days after this, George made a Facebook post about Sarah, and it's pretty clear that things were moving very quick. He said he was no longer the owner of a lonely heart. A few months later, on March 2nd of 2018, clearly George and Sarah started to have problems because she went off on him on Facebook. George posted a status that said, Sarah Boone. Sarah replied in the comments by saying, "You don't have to be new age to want to be taken care of and not treated like a housewife. It's 2018, not 1950. Maybe if you made your woman feel good and make her happy, you'd get farther and more. Stop posting stupid shit hoping you'll get pats on the back. There's more women on the planet, and I'm sure we all feel the same about dumbass men like you." Now things in the relationship were starting to take a toxic turn, and things would only get progressively worse. Only a few months later, in July, police had responded to a domestic dispute at the couple's apartment. Apparently, they were at a bar together, and George saw Sarah ask another guy for a cigarette. So he got mad about it and decided to storm out of the bar. Sarah followed after him, and together they would arrive at their apartment. A huge fight broke out between them, and then the cops were called. Sarah said that George dragged her up the stairs and then kicked her in the right eye. George said that he was going up the stairs, and then Sarah caught up to him and started strangling him, and so perhaps he may have kicked her in the right eye during that. They both would refuse medical treatment and refuse to write statements, but Sarah was charged with battery by strangulation, according to the 2018 affidavit. Obviously, this relationship was doomed from the beginning, but what's about to happen next is unbelievable. On February 24th of 2020, Orange County deputies and firefighters responded to a 911 call from a woman saying that she found her boyfriend dead.
Now tell me exactly what happened there.
My boyfriend and I were playing last night, and I put him in his case and we were playing, and like kind of hide and seek kind of thing. So I fell asleep and I woke up and he was dead in the suitcase, so I don't know what happened.
When the first responders got there, they confirmed that George was deceased, and they noticed that he had a small cut on his lip and what appeared to be bruising around his eye. Sarah said that her and George were just drinking wine and playing a game of hide and seek, and that she left him in the suitcase and then went upstairs to go to bed, but made sure to leave a small opening for him to get out. The police then interrogated Sarah on Tuesday the 25th, so here's some of that.
He also had, like on the left side of his forehead, he had basically bruising, and on like his head and his skull.
I have no idea.
As if something hit him.
I
considered
have not
force
touched him.
trauma.
I have not touched him. I have not touched him.
Then how would he get those injuries?
Tell me and we'll both know. I have not touched him. I don't think you all understand who I am.
Okay. Well, tell me.
I mean, I've always been a straight-A student. I am an outstanding mother to my son.
Okay.
I excel at everything.
It's clear that Sarah is a narcissist who believes that she isn't guilty even in the slightest. The police would continue interrogating her, and because Sarah is a lunatic, she took multiple videos of George inside of the suitcase, taunting him, and so they played them for her. Just a quick heads up, the videos that Sarah took are hard to watch, but here's a little bit of what occurred.
Sarah.
Cute.
Sarah.
Stupid.
Sarah.
That's my name. Don't wear it up.
Guys, this is killing me right now. I don't know what you want me to tell you. Like, I don't know, like, what you want me to tell you.
I'm just telling you what we see and what we've heard from the other video.
I understand.
He's begging for you to let him out. You're laughing in the beginning, and then in the end it sounds kind of like a...
No, it's not malicious.
Well, saying you.
It's not malicious.
Knowing that the last time you saw him was in the suitcase, 30 minutes later, you're like, maybe I should go check on him? Maybe I shouldn't?
No.
Well, that didn't cross your mind because it didn't happen.
That's like an assumption. Like, that's what you all are thinking.
We're asking.
She claimed that she couldn't bear to watch it and that the videos were killing her. Killing her. Yikes. The interrogation continued for another hour or so of Sarah basically repeating herself over and over again while truly displaying some of the most erratic behavior, digging herself into a deeper hole while acting incredibly frustrated, saying the interrogators were just assuming things about her. You took video evidence of what you did. What do you mean assuming? The interrogators then placed Sarah under arrest, and so she continued her narcissistic behavior.
All right, do me a favor, stand up. I need you to turn around, face the wall. Put your hands behind your back. Do you have anything in your pockets that I should know about?
No.
Okay.
Why is this happening?
Because George is dead.
Not intentionally.
We understand that.
He's still dead.
I knew this was going to happen.
You did? Okay.
So I came down here willingly.
Yes, absolutely.
She was charged with second-degree murder, and the court case is still ongoing, but I expect that hopefully justice will be served. This is an awful case, and one that was truly hard to watch all the footage. As to how George got into the suitcase in the first place, I genuinely believe that it started off as a game of hide and seek, but as soon as Sarah realized that she trapped him, things turned evil very quick. Jorge, or George Louis Torres Jr., was a man who undoubtedly was trying to escape his older problems and try to find a new life of prosperity in Florida. He crossed paths with a narcissistic evil woman who took his life in one of the worst ways imaginable. I hope that his family is able to find some peace and that he is resting peacefully. As for Sarah Boone, I hope that prison rots you alive.
Yeah, he's dead.
It's awful, I know.
Okay.
It's awful. And I will tell you both this right now, too. I will never drink alcohol again.
You got that right, you crazy bitch. But anyways, thank you for watching this episode of High Time Crime. If true crime is your thing, then please subscribe and hit the like button because that's all we do. I also have a second account with my brother named Horrifying, where we tell stories about everything paranormal. This includes true crime, mysteries, and things that are just downright spooky. spooky. I'd greatly appreciate if you subscribe to that too. The link's in my bio. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care, friend.